She's an icon, she's a legend, and she is the moment.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, hello and welcome. My name is Casey and I hope you come and join the party by subscribing down below, turning post notifications and all of those good things. But hello guys, I hope you're all good. We're gonna just get into the video, I guess, before I start rambling on. But today's video is gonna be a kind of book talk videos, talking about books that are highly recommended, that I just, not just book talk, but like I see on like YouTube videos, on my Instagram, on like all this kind of stuff. Basically books that everyone talks about and we've all heard of, and I read them to tell you if they're good or not, give my thoughts, and we're just gonna go and get into it. But if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment down below that you enjoyed it and you want to see more, because there is a few other books that I've read that I would want to put in a part 2, and there's a few more that I've got in my little stack up here that will also be able to be included in a video like this. So if you want to see a part 2, don't forget to let me know. But let's get into the video. Okay, so quick disclaimer. Disclaimer.
Bitch, are you dumb?
Pardon me?
Are you dumb?
I think she's dumb.
She's dumb.
Why can't I not speak? Okay, so quick disclaimer. I actually have, I think, all of these books, apart from, I've tried to keep them here because I wanted to remember like why I actually rated them. But all of the books apart from one, I'm going to talk about 5. All of them apart from one, I'm pretty sure I have like in an actual book, and one of them was on the Kindle. However, as you can see, I'm at uni right now, so I don't have all the books with me. So if I don't have it with me, I'm going to just like put a picture up here so you know which book I'm on about. But anyway, let me just stop chattering and get on to the first book. So you can probably all guess what the first book's going to be. Like, this book is all over book talk. It's all over just anything to do with books. Like, this book has been so popular, so talked about. It's got such, I've seen such mixed reviews. Like, people love this book, love this author, or they just find them overrated, like cringy. I don't know. I quite like the book, so I've seen quite a mix of opinions. They're either like a huge fan, a huge stan, or they just don't understand. You can probably guess which book I'm talking about. But the book I'm talking about is It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. So I actually really enjoyed the beginning of this book. I really enjoyed the end of this book. But I wanted to chuck the book out the window, the whole middle of it. I hated the whole middle of this book, especially like the middle second half. I literally despised, like, no joke when I tell you, I was reading a page and then like slamming the book shut and just been like, and I'd read a page and I'd be like, it was annoying me so much that it was literally like hurting my insides to continue reading it. But I pushed through and I actually thoroughly enjoyed it, clearly because I actually gave it 4 out of 5 stars. So that's quite high rating. I think it only took me like 4 or 5 days to read. It was actually the last book I read of 2021 and I really enjoyed it. So first of all, I don't know how to say first of all when I've literally just said all that, but I do want to mention there is trigger warnings throughout this book, quite a lot. So look up the trigger warnings first. If you feel like you might not want to read it because of the trigger warnings, do not read it. Because when I personally seen what the trigger warnings were, I was like, okay, I feel like I should be able to read it. It's probably not going to be in it that much. And pretty much it was throughout the whole book. So definitely look up the trigger warnings before you read it. I would also say it's definitely an 18+ book. But I liked the message. I thought it was a good book. Although it was like a romance book. And I don't really know if I'd call it romance, because there was forms of romance, but not throughout the book. Like, there was a lot more to it and to the message than it being a romance. It didn't really make sense for it to be classed as a romance to me personally. So yeah, I don't really understand that. Also, maybe be ready to cry. I didn't cry. I don't really cry reading books like that. But I know pretty much everyone else I know that's read it has cried. So definitely have your tissues ready if you're going to read this book. I know I didn't even tell you what it was about because I just assumed everyone would know what it's about. I don't know why I didn't even tell you literally what it was about. But first of all, let me stop saying first of all, because that's actually really annoying. But what I was going to say is I'm so bad at actually describing stuff. So maybe go onto Goodreads. I will link my Goodreads somewhere, maybe put it on the screen here somewhere. I'll put it down below and have a little look at all the descriptions of the books if you want to do so. But yeah, basically it's about this girl called Lily who has moved to a new city to start her new life. She wants to open up her own business, like just put herself out there, make friends, start relationships, and it's all kind of about her story and what's going on with her now. But it also goes back to the past a lot. Probably I'd say maybe like 40-50% of this book is like flashbacks to the past. So it's got a lot of like the past and current and how it kind of why she is where she is because of her past. So you see quite a bit of a mix. It also focuses a lot on like her and new relationships with people, but also a lot on her relationship with her parents and her parents' relationships. So I'd say it's quite a good book overall, but obviously, like I said, could be very triggering and could be very sad. So it was a good book. If you want something sad, if you want to read something like that in a vibe, it was good. But if you're just looking for a nice, fun, light-hearted romance, this is not that book. No. But anyway, I would say I enjoyed it. I've seen people say it's like cringy and people don't like the way like it was written and stuff. But I quite enjoyed it, so I don't know. That's just me personally, and I actually will be reading more of Colleen's books, and I cannot wait for the second book of this to come out. I'm literally so excited to read it. Let me know if you are too, but I just cannot wait for the drop. I think it comes out in October if I am correct. Yeah, I'm not sure, but I think so. Anyway, the next book I'll be talking about is They Both Die at the End, and let me put it up here before I forget. So basically this book is mainly about two boys, and this thing is called Death Cast, and it's basically where Death Cast will call you and basically tell you like you're gonna die within the next 24 hours. Like it could be now, it could be in 23 hours and 59 minutes, it could be in 12 hours, it could be any time, but it'll be within the next 12 hours. And then you just need to decide what you're gonna do with yourself until basically you're gonna die. So it's the main characters, these two boys, and it basically just follows them getting the call and how they spend their time after receiving this call from Death Cast. But it's not only just about these boys, it's also about like a few other people who have either got the call, they work for Death Cast and they're like giving calls, or they know someone that's got the call and like different stuff like that. So like these other people are I kind of think they're a bit irrelevant in it, but then sometimes it'll be like somebody just got the call and they're like, oh my god, I'm going to do this, and then it'll be like, oh, they've seen like Mateo, who's one of the main characters, run past. So it kind of just, they all kind of I can't speak sometimes. They all kind of cross paths at some point in it, but that's the main gist of the story. It's about basically how they're going to spend their time and their personal stories, the two of them, their personal stories, their like connection with each other, their connection with their friends, their past, but then also about each of these other characters as well, and like their family and different stuff with that. And I wouldn't necessarily say there's much triggers in this I can't think of, other than like obviously talks about death a lot. They both die at the end, so yeah, like that's the name of the story, so obviously you can kind of get the gist that it's going to be about death a lot. But let me just make sure I'm seeing this correctly before I even say yes, I rated this book 4 out of 5. I actually really enjoyed this book. The only, I don't know if this is maybe why I didn't get it to a 5. It could be, I don't really know. But basically, I decided to read this book at like the worst time possible. It was literally during exam season. I read this like last December, right at the beginning of December, I think. And I read it over like maybe like a week or 2 weeks because I obviously like had a lot going on, so I couldn't be reading it so much every night. So I think maybe if I read it in a shorter amount of time, I might have preferred it, because there was some times where it's like I'd be reading it and it'd be really sad and like you would probably, any normal person would have started like crying or whatever, but then I'd be like, okay, bedtime, and I wouldn't read it for like 2 days, so like it didn't have that same emotion when I like opened it up again. So I'd maybe say read it in a short amount of time. I don't currently have the book with me, it's actually on Lend right now to one of my friends, so hence I don't have it here, but I did read that as a physical copy as well, and I would say that got my approval. Both of those books so far got my approval, so yeah, I would recommend that book. I know Adam, the author, does have some other books. I don't know if they're up my street. I don't know. I need to have a little look. I did have a look, so I was quite intrigued, but then I was like, I don't know if they're for me. Apparently, it's going to be a second one of these books. I don't know. That's been confirmed. And apparently, it's getting turned into a TV series, which is actually one of the reasons, like, the main reasons I made sure to read it when I did, because I wanted to watch before it got turned into a TV series, because I don't know why you wouldn't want to do that, you know? But anyway, let's move on to the third book. So my third book from like TikTok, booktok, or just like highly recommended books, or books I just see people talk about. It may not even be like they think they're amazing. It's either like everyone thinks they're good or there's mixed reviews. But either way, highly spoken about. My third book is Punk 57 by Penelope Douglas. And I feel like everybody's at least heard about this book, knows what book I'm talking about. I'll put it up here. We've all seen the cover, let's be honest. You know what book this is. If you're watching this video, you probably know what book this is. But this book is basically about two people, Misha, and I can't remember the other person's name, I can't lie. But it's basically about a boy and a girl who are pen pals. So both of them are in school. Like when they were both in school, they were doing this basically like pen pal system to start speaking to people, you know, obviously what pen pal is. And they both have unisex names. So the boys' school thought that the girl was a boy, and the girls' school thought that the boy was a girl. I hope I said that the right way. So basically, they were both speaking to each other, thinking that like they obviously knew that they were speaking to a boy or they were speaking to a girl, but the schools weren't aware at first. Anyway, they've been pen pals for a few years and they just kept in contact, and the book is basically all about them because they planned to never meet in real life, like never see each other in real life like that, and basically somehow they ended up doing just that. So the book's basically about these two and everything about them, and I really enjoyed this book, and I actually gave it like a 4.5 out of 5, which is quite high. And it's quite controversial because I have seen so many videos of people saying that they hated this book, it's overhyped, it was cringy, like just slandering this book. But I think I rated this so high because I'm pretty sure I read this in a day or two, and it was the first ever romance book that I've ever read, first of all. And it was the first book that properly got me back into reading. Like, there's another book which I'm going to talk about literally next, which got me back into reading. But this one, like, literally, as soon as I read this, I read another book the next day I sat and read another full book. Like, this got me proper back into reading. And I just really enjoyed it. I thought it was easy. It was lighthearted. I thought it was pretty much realistic. To be fair, most of the reviews that I've seen for people saying it was bad are kind of, like, older readers. They're just like, oh, they shouldn't do this, oh, they shouldn't do that. And it's like, guys, it's a book. Chill out, okay? Do you know what I mean? But I would really recommend this book. It definitely gets my approval. I enjoyed it, and I actually am going to read some more of Penelope's books. I've been recommended loads. I've got one on my Kindle, which I actually might read after I finish the book that I'm on right now. So if you've got any more book recommendations by her, do let me know. I've seen quite a few recommendations, actually, of everyone being like, oh, so much better than Punk 57, but I really enjoyed Punk 57. The only thing that was kind of annoying is like they were in high school, and I would prefer to read like the people that are older, like in uni or like in a job in like the big bad world. So that was the only thing that was kind of like, but apart from that, I really enjoyed it anyway, and I give it my 4.5 out of 5, and I would definitely recommend. So the book that initially got me back into reading, like this was the first book I'd probably read since I was like a child. Like as a child, I loved reading. In school, in high school, no, it was not for me. So this was the first book that I actually read like out of choice, and it was during lockdown because I had nothing else to do. So I was like, let me just try read a book. A few of my friends had read it, been recommended to me, so I was like, do you know what, let me give it a try. And this was The Silent Patient. I'll put it up here. I read this book quite quickly, actually. I felt like I read it quite quickly then, but in comparison to how I read books now that I actually read, I didn't read it quite quickly. I think it took like a month, maybe 2 months to read. But the last like third or last quarter I read in one sitting because I was like, oh, what? She did what now? Like, it was a plot twist and a half, but it's basically about a lady who killed her husband and hasn't spoken since, so nobody knows what happened. So basically this lady's in like, I'm pretty sure she's in like a mental hospital or like an insane asylum or something like that. I can't remember what it is, but she's in something like that, and she just refuses to speak. She won't speak. No one knows what happened. All anyone knows is that she was found, her husband was dead, now she won't talk. And it's all about basically her and this guy who's trying to like solve her case and get her to speak again. And it goes a bit back to the past, a bit back to the future. They kind of cross over. It's a bit from each like side of their stories. And I actually really enjoyed this book. And the plot twist had me gagged at the end. Although I recommended it to pretty much all my friends that read. And a few of them have been like, oh, I saw it coming. And I'm like, no, you didn't. Don't dare lie. So you might see it coming, but you probably won't. Because I didn't. And I was like, oh. I was literally shook when I got to the end, and I really enjoyed it. And I give it 4.5 out of 5 again. I don't know if I rated this too high now that I look back on it, but like when I hadn't read it so long, it was the book that actually got me interested, so I was like, it clearly must be a good book. But if I like reread it now, I don't know if I'd feel the same. But then saying that, I've been on my romance grind, so I don't know if I can even go back to a book like that at the moment. maybe. But if you love thriller, mystery, crime, those kind of like psychological, those kind of books, you're literally gonna love this book. Go read this book. Again, it gets my approval. I really enjoyed this book, and I really liked it, and I'm so glad I read it, and I'm so glad I've literally put all of my friends onto it, and literally none of them have said it was bad. All my friends enjoyed it, so yeah, we love that. And the final book I'm going to talk about is Normal People. As you can see, this book has a bookmark in it here because I didn't enjoy it. And I added it to my DNF little list, which is because I didn't finish it. If you're not done with the book lingo, I did not finish this book, and I will not finish this book because I think I am like 35% into the book. Let's see. I'm on page 95 and it just isn't really giving. To be honest, I couldn't even explain what this book's about because I don't even know. I literally don't understand it. I don't know what's going on. I was reading it the other day and I was literally on the 90th page and it said the girl's name and I was like, who is this girl? I had to scroll back and look who it was. It was literally the main character and I didn't even know this girl's name, so it just shows it's not giving, it's not that good. I asked so many people, so many other of my fellow readers what they thought, like, should I continue it? Is it worthwhile? Literally all of them said, put the book down. It's boring. Or they were like, yeah, I tried to read it and I wish I didn't because it was so bad. I had to force myself to read it. And it's just, the book's really boring. I'm so sorry. It's literally boring. It's basically about this girl and this boy in Ireland. That's literally all I can tell you. I honestly don't even know because it's not. I feel like this is going to be so unpopular because all the videos I've seen have literally been like, this book changed my life, 5 out of 5, I recommend it to everybody. I couldn't even think the same for a whole week after reading it. It was just in my mind. It was all I could think about. This is the book I could not think about. It was like, I was just confused. And also the thing that I really didn't like was the first like 4 chapters, I had literally no idea what was going on, like at all. Now I still don't understand what's going on, but like I really had no idea what's going on then. But also what I really don't like is when it would be a new chapter, it wouldn't just be like a continue on. It would literally be like 2 months later, 3 months later, 6 weeks later, 2 weeks later. So 1 minute we're chilling and they're talking about da 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 da, and the next minute it's like, so then I pull up to the gaff and I'm just like, what? But it's not the gaff from the beginning. It's like a gaff in the middle of this other place because they go to uni now. And I'm just like, when did this happen? You were literally just going to prom and now you're here. Or you were literally just like cleaning his house and now you're here with her. Like, what? I was just really full of confusion. And I don't know, maybe if I finished the book, I would have understood what was going on. But it was too boring and I couldn't be bothered to do that. So that book for me is a no. So far, I'd give it like, if I had to rate the amount I've read so far, I'd give it maybe like 2 out of 5. 1.5 out of 5. I'm sorry. I said what I said before you come in the comments saying blah 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 and blah 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 blah. Yeah, I said what I said. I'm not reading that book. Sorry. Since I've got it like actually here, maybe in a few months, in a year, I'll go back to it and I'll love the book. I don't know. I can't fully criticize because I've not finished it. But to where I am in life right now, it's not for me. It's not for me. I needed some more. I expected more. I was expecting here and it was giving me like here. And I feel like it could have pushed to like here, but I was not going to give up here what I expected. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, let me just stop talking now because I've literally spoken for ages now. And I didn't really need this to be a long video, which it clearly has become. Not too long, but you know what I mean. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos like this, let me know. Let me know what books you want me to read and like review or talk about, or what kind of videos you want to see. If you want to see more book videos, I'll be putting more book videos out anyway. So if you don't want to see them, too bad. But if there's any specific ones you want to see, let me know. Like I was going to film recaps of my month, like what I read that month. Let me know if you want to see that. Do you want to see a part 2 of this video? Like I said, there's a few books I've already read. There's a few books I've got. I'm actually reading a book like that I've seen all over BookTok right now. So if you want to see my reviews, let me know. And yeah, if you want to see a book about novellas, I've read so many of them. Just let me know what you want to see. And I will see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below, turn on post notifications and all of those good things. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you and bye.
See ya.